Hello everyone, welcome back to JurisLegal. Today I'm issuing a critical legal warning regarding one of the most misused legal document in the real estate sector. Yes, a general power of attorney, or it is called as GPA also. If you are purchasing a site, an apartment, or land, or any immobile property without proper verification, then your hard-earned money could be at risk. Thousands of property buyers are facing massive legal battle simply because they trusted a piece of paper, they trusted a person who is actually facilitating them for the purchase of the property, who is so-called broker, right? So basically, without a proper GPA, if you purchase a property, then that purchase itself is a null ab initio. That means in the initial stage of the purchase itself, that execution of that legal instrument is null and void. You have to be very, very careful when you are especially purchasing the immobile property as such. Your intention is to make money or get a good profit out of it, or you want to reside in such a property. If you do not verify the documents properly and then if you purchase it, it's always a risk, and you can get into a litigation. See, as a practical advocate, I see people ruined by these transactions every single day. Let me break down the exactly why GPA is not proof of ownership and how you have to be very careful when you are purchasing the property. Before understanding the safety part of it as to GPA, first of all, you have to understand what is GPA and how it impact on your purchase of the property. You know, general power of attorney is merely a authorization. It's not a transfer of a title. A person who want to fly to any other country and who is suffering from ill health, in that case, he cannot manage the property, right? So he can't go to government offices and then get the documents. He can't go for the sale registration. If there is any litigation of the property, he cannot appear before the court. So manage all these things. He can give the authority to some person in the form of GPA. A GPA document has to be executed, then a GPA holder gets that rights and he can perform all the activity on the property. So you have to understand this. This is not a title transfer. He will not, the GPA holder cannot get the ownership of the property through GPA, but he will get the rights to manage the property. And the section 54 of the Transfer of Property Act is very, very clear. A GPA does not create any interest or right over the immovable property. By the virtue of the section itself, it's very, very clear. And it is a very settled law. Supreme Court very often says that if the GPA is not registered, then the property cannot be transferred through a GPA holder. Despite this clear judicial stance, many buyers are still misled into purchasing a property through a unregistered or notarized GPA. If your seller is trying to convince you that GPA document is more than sufficient to get into registration, then that is a trap. Now in Karnataka we have Kaveri 2.0, the software. Compared to before, these kind of frauds are relatively less. The reason is the software itself. If the GPA is not registered, then software itself will block the continuation of the product registration. That is a very good stand that our government has taken. Even then, there are some scenarios where in which you have to very, very careful, because you may get into a fraudulent transaction. Principle of the GPA: the person who is actually owning the property has given a GPA to so and so person. Then automatically, if the original owner of the property died, then GPA will automatically be cancelled. In such situation, the GPA holder may approach you to sell the property. After selling it, the legal heirs of the original owner may come and then file the case, and his case will stand, and then you will lose the property. Yes, it is a very, very important and very crucial time period wherein which the person who is holding the GPA is still having the GPA in his name. It is not been updated, but the person who has given the GPA have died. It's a very critical time period. In that juncture, the GPA holder may sell the property. That is why you have to be very, very careful when you are going to purchase a property through a GPA holder, you have to make sure that the original owner is still alive. How can you do that? You can get a living certificate. Point number one. Point number two, you have to see him through your, if he is not available in the premises, you should call him, and you have to make a video call, and then you have to see him and then get the confirmation. If in case the original owner is present, it is always good for you to call him to the registration process and then involve. He has to become a party. Both GPA holder and the original owner should become the party if he is available. I'm telling you. The reason is, you may ask me that when he's easily available for the registration, why will he give the GPA, right? That is a valid question. But the situation might be like this. When he is executing the GPA, after execution of the GPA, he might have traveled to abroad, but now today you are going to the sub register office and then you are getting it registered. Now he might be available for you to involve in the process of registration. In that situation, what you have to do is, you have to make him as a party and then purchase the property. It is the cleanest way of purchasing the property, I'm telling you. Finally, what I would suggest to you is, if you want to purchase a property, always try to purchase a property from the direct owner. If not, you can go to GPA. It is not like you cannot purchase the property through a GPA holder, but the condition is the GPA should be registered, and the person who has made the GPA, who is the original owner, should be alive, and the original owner should not have cancelled the GPA. These are the three conditions, and very obvious one more condition is that the GPA holder should have that right to sell the property. It is clearly should be mentioned in the GPA document itself. The condition is this: whatever the responsibility that our original owner is giving to the GPA holder, only those responsibility the GPA holder can execute. He cannot simply go and then sell the property if that particular clause is not at all there in GPA. So very, very important. That is why you should always approach a good advocate nearby you and get the verification done, and then only you have to purchase the property. I'll end this video for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day.